Okay, for today's lesson, we're looking at all things distance time graphs. And here's what one might look like. Don't panic. Let me explain what that means. So, a distance time graph is represents a journey on a graph. So, it represents a journey. It could be you walking to the shops, going on a bike ride, or even a flight. The vertical axis is what represents your distance away from the starting point. So that would be traditionally your y-axis. So the further you go up the y-axis, the further you go away from your starting point. And then when you come down the y-axis, you're coming back towards the starting point. And then the horizontal axis represents the time taken. Okay, so for example, if you start at your house, you go for a bike ride, you're cycling away from home, cycling away, hanging out at the park. So you get to the park, you're not going anywhere, but you're spending time there. And then, it's getting dark, you have to go home. And there we are, returning home. Okay, let's have a look at a question. So I should take it away because I've already done this. Okay, so let's have a look at this question here. Okay, Tony walks from home to the bank. On the way home, he stops at the shops. The distance time graph shows his journey. So we can see here we've got his time on the x-axis and we've got the distance here in meters. So let's read it together. He leaves the house at 0 minutes, naturally, and he walks to the bank. Okay, now stop here. This is our first key point. The bank we can see is 800 meters away because when you see a station, whenever you're stationary, you draw a horizontal line because you're not moving any more distance away from the starting point. He spends time at the bank, but not going anywhere. First question, how far away is the bank from Tony's house? Well, we've just answered it. It's 800 meters. Okay, now let's look at this journey again. Let's keep going with Tony's journey. He leaves the bank. Well, when did he get to the bank first? He got to the bank at 10 minutes into his journey and he left 25. So we can see that he spent 15 minutes at the bank. Okay, now he goes home. We're told he stops at the shops. So he's going home, and can you see how the gradient is a bit less, not as steep as before? He's walking home slower. So go to the shops, and he stops at the shops. So that's what this horizontal line means here. So we get to the shops here. He's got 40 minutes, and it was 25. So his total walking time and his second time to the shops is 15 minutes again. And then he spends 10 minutes at the shops here, 10 minutes. And lastly, he goes home after the shops here. Gets home in 5 minutes that time. So this part of the journey here only took him 5 minutes. And he gets home, total journey time 55 minutes. So does his distance from home change between 10 and 25 minutes? Now we've already answered that. He was at the bank. And it's this period here. So that's question. I put B so you can see it. How long does Tony spend at the bank? Well, we've got 10 to 25, so he spends 15 minutes. How long does Tony spend at the shops? Well, we've answered it. It's 10 minutes. How long does it take Tony to get from his house to bank or house to bank? That was 10 minutes. And how long does it take Tony to get from his bank? How long does it take to get from the bank to his house? Remember, get what the questions here. Bank to his house, 25 to 55. So it's 25 to 55 on our graph, and that equals 30 minutes. Okay, pause and reflect. How does a horizontal line, what's a horizontal line mean on a distance time graph? I've already said it. Have a think. And then copy that down in your books. Key point and the model. You got two practice questions. Question 1 and question 2. Have a go at them. And then we'll do another model. I'm going to draw one for you now. So I left the house at 6 a.m. I cycled 7 kilometers to work in 45 minutes. So you're going to mark that on. So that means I got there at 6:45. 6:45 is here, and 7 kilometers is here. I spent 3 hours at work. So we're going to go 6:45 to 7:45 to 8:45 to 9:45. And I'm at work, so I don't go any distance away from my house. And then bike 4 kilometers in 15 minutes. I'm going to add back towards home. So 7 minus 4 is 3 kilometers. So that's how far I am from home, and I did it in 15 minutes. So here we are. And then I spend 1 hour at the shops having coffee, and then I bike home again in 15 minutes. But there we are. Let's now complete this time graph up. So first journey, left the house at 6 a.m., 7K bike ride in 45 minutes. And then I spend 3 hours at work. And then bike 4 kilometers towards home in 15 minutes. I spend an hour at the shops, and then I bike home again in 15 minutes. And there we are. That's our distance time graph. Drawn up, representing my journey there. Please copy it down in your books. And then you're going to have a go at yourself. If you need a hint, you've got it here. Have a go at question 4. And then lastly, application question. I want you to copy the graph in your book. Copy graph. And answer the question. And as always, if you need it, I will provide some extension work for you, class. Good luck with the lesson, and as always, comment away if you have any issues.